Realtors, I need you to stop using AI to write your social media and do this instead. Because AI gives you the average of everything. And average is one thing that kills a personal brand. So stop scripting with AI. And here's what to do, and here's how to actually use AI when it comes to social media. There's this really incredible clip out there with Ben Affleck talking about how AI is coming for screenwriters, and he has a really good point that I want to drive home here, is that when you're asking AI to write you a script, it's not thinking, how can I help this agent stand out amongst all the other realtors? That's not what it's doing. It's taking the mean of everything that's on the internet and giving you the average answers. Now, if you want to build a social media brand, I don't think it's smart to post average stuff on social media. With AI and AI slop right now more than ever, realtors have this unique opportunity to become extremely well-known online by getting hyper-local, hyper-specific, and building a very strong social media brand. Now, with that being said, I use AI every single day. I just never use it to write my content, and here's where I draw the line. The point of social media is a personal brand built off of you and your experiences, your history, your failures, and your way of seeing things, your opinion. And the beauty of that is that nobody can replicate that. And AI especially can't, because it never lived it, right? Only a human can cry at a concert. AI averages everyone who came before you, but you're the input it can't average. So the rule is, for me, is AI is the back end of my content, but never the voice. So to start this off, I use AI and Claude for research on what's working in my niche. Now, there are some really cool connectors inside of Claude that I use, one specifically being vidIQ. The coolest thing about vidIQ is that it only used to work with YouTube. It now works with Instagram. And what I do with this connector inside of school is I have a specific skill built out that when I'm looking for certain types of videos that are working, or outliers, we call them, okay, my skill that I've installed in my Claude will help me pull those to fruition so I can see the best performing videos in my niche. And what my skill does is not only will it tell me those outlier videos, but it'll tell me why it's working, the format of that video, and the hook of that video. So to summarize, what I'm doing with AI here is I'm using it to research. I'm not using it to script. Another really cool feature of the skill that I've built out inside of Claude, when it's connected to vidIQ, it can actually surface proven title and thumbnail patterns, keywords, and like what's trending versus what's new. The reason why that's important is because I want to use AI to research what's working so I can replicate it. For realtors, a piece of advice: what I do to help create and come up with content ideas is I look outside of our real estate industry. Sorry to break it to you, but realtors aren't known for being trendsetters or the most revolutionary social media marketers, okay? I'm sorry, I know that's gonna hurt some feelings. So what I do is I go outside of our niche, I see what types of videos are working in other niches, and then I bring that format or that context, and I think, how can I take this video that worked so well in this niche and make it real estate related? Is it the formatting? Is it the hook that worked? Like, is it the type of video? What is it that worked? And that's what I have my Claude doing for me, is pulling out that information so I don't spend hours myself trying to doom scroll on social media to find these things out myself. I get it sent to me in 30 seconds with Claude. Another use case for research in Claude is I want Claude to pull out why certain hooks worked. Okay, now one of the most important metrics, especially when we're looking at short form content, is skip rate. And what that means is, did people watch past your first 3 seconds of the video? And the reason why this is the most important metric is because if nobody watches past the first 3 seconds, then nobody sees the most important stuff of your video, which is the meat and potatoes of the video. So you have to spend a lot of time and a lot of effort on creating incredible hooks so that your skip rate lowers, right? Now, again, I don't want to spend hours and hours trying to figure out why these hooks worked. What I can do with my skill inside of Claude connected to vidIQ is I can actually break down the patterns and see, okay, this hook worked because of XYZ over this hook. The next thing I do when it comes to researching on Claude and AI in general is I like to see which formats of videos are working. Now, what I mean by that is, one place where I see realtors get stuck a lot is the only type of video we make, and this is me included, by the way. When I say realtors, I mean me included. I've been here. But the types of videos that we make almost exclusively seem to be talking head educational style videos. The problem that we run into in real estate is that the biggest number one pain point when I talk to realtors about why they're not posting is they don't know what to talk about and they just don't understand like what to say and what to film. So when you finally do all the hard work to come up with this great idea, doesn't it make sense to repurpose that idea into multiple formats so you have multiple pieces of content? Like the idea creation is the hard part, right? Coming up with a great idea is the hard part of content creation for most of us. Then you have filming, but that's another topic. So once you have this idea, I use Claude and AI to help me understand different formats of videos that I can use with this idea. For example, if I have a video talking about first-time home buyers, I can do a talking head video, but I can also do a carousel post. I could also do a diagram post. So what AI can do for me is help me research which formats are working right now and how I can turn my idea into multiple video ideas with different formats. The last point I want to touch on when it comes to using AI to research to create content is I've actually created this really cool skill inside of my Claude that I want to share with you. What I've created is called my board of directors. What this is every single time that I ask Claude to help me write a script or help me come up with an idea, I don't want it to create a script. What I want it to do is I want it to run my idea through my board of directors. Now, how to set this up is if you go to Claude, install a skill, you just tell it to install a board of directors with these 5 people. Number 1, I have one of my favorite marketers of all time, Alex Hormozi, and a close number 2, I have Sabri Subi. Then I have somebody that loves my idea. I have somebody that absolutely hates my idea, and the purpose of this person is to crush my idea and tell me how bad it is and convince the other 3 that they're right and this idea is crap. And my last person in there is just an innocent bystander in this. They are completely neutral. They are not in real estate, and I want their I want their opinion on my idea, not as a real estate professional. So I asked Claude to install a skill with these 5 board of advisors, and every single time I bring an idea to Claude, it runs it through the board of advisors. They argue back and forth, and the purpose is to either come to the conclusion of we kill the idea, we reshape the idea, or we keep the idea. So I'm using AI to help me not use AI because I don't want it to write me a script. The script is my voice, my experience, my opinion. But what I do want AI for is the research. I want it to tell me if this idea is good or bad. I want it to tell me how to create a better hook and work with it to get some different hook ideas and how to find out which formats are working, right? I use AI to help me research, not script. Which brings me right to point number 2, which is I use AI to build the back end, but I don't let it be the voice, right? I use it to brainstorm, not script. I help it to maximize my hooks based off of what's working online. I help it to create different angles and ideas, but I'm still gonna write the post. I'm still gonna write the script. It can build the frameworks for me, right? Like I have it do with my board of directors. So my content has structure, okay, but not bullshit, right? I think especially when it comes to long form video like YouTube, one major thing that people need help with is the structure of that video. I'm all about, again, using my skills within Claude to help me analyze top performing YouTubers and pull their formats from their videos, not their scripts. But if I can post into my skill that I've created in Claude, the multiple YouTubers that I look up to and want to mirror, I want it to give me back the formats that they use in their videos, not the script. Because once I have the format, I can then go in and put my own voice on things, but I'm following a format so I don't ramble or get off topic. One other cool skill that I've actually built into my Claude is the copywriting skill. Again, I don't use it to copyright and I don't use it to script. However, I like the idea of it researching and helping me get these formats. One thing I'm sure you've noticed is that when you talk to Claude or any sort of AI and you ask it to help you with scripting or copywriting, email templates, whatever, the language seems to always be similar and not like yours. It uses a ton of filler words. It is just a lot of fluff. So a skill that we've created with a specific prompt has actually eliminated that. And one cool way we've done that, and the way to get it speaking in my voice, is I've connected my Gmail to my Claude. I asked Claude to go through the past 60 days of emails so it can see how I speak, how I respond, how I type, so it understands my voice. I've also given it access to the videos that I post online, so it sees how I speak and how I communicate. And then when I ask it to help me with anything, this copywriter persona skill that I've installed, it will give me back results so that it sounds exactly like me in my voice. Because you want to build out these better prompts so that the output is accurate in your market and how you speak, right? You have to treat AI as like a content engine, not a ghostwriter, right? You have to set your parameters, your voice, and you have to feed it the raw material, right? It's never, write me a script on XYZ. Terrible idea. That brings me to point number 3, which is make it unmistakably you. And I feel like this is the part that everybody skips. When I'm communicating with Claude or ChatGPT, I literally will brain dump. I think you're allowed 3,000 characters inside of the prompting message on Claude. I almost always hit 3,000 characters. There's 2 ways to do this. You can use the actual voice dictation on Claude, or you can use a free app called Whisper Flow, WISPR Flow. It is an incredible app that just takes voice to text and helps you brain dump into Claude to give it the most amount of information possible. I've found that AI in general has really revealed the fact that we maybe aren't so great at communication, and that's a skill that is extremely important in business. When you're prompting your AI to give you a specific result, if that prompt couldn't be understood by a human that you gave the exact same prompt to, it's not actually AI's fault. It's the fact that you don't know how to properly communicate. And that's why I'm almost exclusively using voice to text or voice dictation on AI. And I just want to dump everything that I'm thinking into that chat so that it has a really clear understanding of what I'm looking for. I've seen it so many times where realtors come back to me and say, it just gives me crappy results. Well, sometimes it takes me 10 times going back and forth to get the end result that I'm actually looking for. So you can't just take that first result and use that. You have to go back and forth. You have to let it know what you're looking for, what not to do. There's so many things you have to do to be an effective communicator, which is a great thing because if AI can also make us incredible communicators, that's a huge win. So to recap this video, don't ask AI to write your scripts for you. Use it to research. Install specific skills to make sure that your outputs are actually your voice and your opinion. Install specific connectors like vidIQ and Gmail into your Claude or ChatGPT so that you can actually help it understand your voice and who you are and give you the best research possible. Help it build out the back end, like the frameworks and the skills and the prompts, right? And then make it you. AI makes you average on purpose, okay? Your only job on social media is to be anything but average. So if you're looking for any of those AI skills or prompts that I've talked about in this video, it's all inside Real Estate Money. All you have to do is click the link in your bio. You get access to the exact copy and paste prompts and skills that I've talked about in this video to get incredible results. The link's in the bio. It'll take you directly to the page to jump in and take what you need. If you're liking what you're seeing on these videos, I'm trying my best to make these videos as helpful as possible so that I can give back to the real estate community that has given me so much. So please like, share, subscribe. And if you have any topics that you want me to cover or any questions on this video, I check my comments every single day. I appreciate you being here. I will see you on the next video.